Listen, I want you to stop begging for a seat at the table and start building your own. Let me tell you something real quick. I remember sitting in rooms I didn't belong in, looking at folks eating off plates I hadn't worked for, thinking if I just smiled harder, said the right thing, they'd slide a chair over. Man, that's a lie we tell ourselves to sleep at night. You can't keep waiting on somebody else to notice your hunger. You know how you build a table. You get wood, you cut it, you nail it, you sweat a little, you make mistakes, you fix them, that's life. Ain't nobody gonna hand you a toolbox if you don't show up ready to use it. Your gift won't come wrapped in an invitation. It comes while you're crafting it, grinding on it, and keeping your faith when folks say you crazy. Listen, stop waiting for permission like your life depends on a nod from somebody in a suit. You've been teaching yourself to be small by standing in the back, talking soft, waiting on an invitation that might never come. I know it ain't easy. You've been trained to think respect looks like patience and good manners. But let me tell you what real respect looks like. Showing up, doing the work, and taking responsibility for your own seat. When you wait for a handout, you give your power away. When you wait for someone to notice you, you spend your life praying for eyes to see you instead of making sure you can't be missed. You want to know how I used to be? I'd sit in rooms, quiet hoping somebody would pick me. I think if I just smiled harder, said the right thing, maybe they'd slide a chair across the floor. Man, that's weakness dressed up in hope. Don't get me wrong, humility's a virtue, but being humble and being invisible are two different things. Humility lets you learn. Invisibility keeps you from being seen at all. Here's the call to action. Stop politing around your dreams and start participating in them. Start building your skills, sharpening your craft, making your offer so good they can't ignore it. You don't need their permission to get better. You need discipline. I remember when I had nothing. I didn't wait for a seat. I created reasons for people to listen. I worked nights. I practiced in the car. I learned how to talk so people would lean in. You can do the same. Put the work where your mouth is. When opportunity sees a person with a portfolio, not excuses, it leans in. Another thing, stop explaining why you deserve a seat. Don't spend your energy pursuing people to hand you opportunity. Spend that energy producing results. Let your work be the argument. Results don't beg. Results demand attention. If you keep waiting for an invite, you'll die wondering what could have been. But if you start putting boards together, even if they wobble, you'll have something to show. Build something imperfect, then make it better. That's how tables are made. That's how reputations are built. And don't confuse patience with passivity. Patience is working steady while trusting the timing. Passivity is sitting down and expecting life to serve you. Move, make calls, learn, fail, try again. God blesses effort. He don't bless apathy. Finally, know this. Nobody ever wrote history by waiting politely. The world remembers those who step forward, not those who stood in the wing. So get up, get loud with your action, and stop begging. The seat you want is out there, but the chair you need is the one you build yourself. Keep planning, keep crafting, and keep showing up until you can't be ignored. And when they ask how you did it, just smile and say, I built it myself with faith, persistence, and faith. That's the fuel, man. That's what keeps the engine running when the road feels longer than your hope. Let me break it to you. Anybody can get excited for a week. Anybody can talk big dreams after watching one motivational video. But what separates the folks who make it from the folks who quit is this right here. Staying in the fight when it feels like you're lost. See, persistence ain't about never falling down. It's about keeping your hands on the plow after you've fallen, after you're bruised, after you feel like it's pointless. You show up anyway. You keep laying boards for that table even when the wood's warped and your hands are blistered. Because somewhere in that process, God's watching to see if you're ready for the blessing you've been praying for. And then there's faith, not that Sunday morning look good faith. I'm talking about that Tuesday night, bills past due, nobody answering your calls kind of faith. Faith when you can't see a way, but you keep moving your feet. Faith when you got more questions than answers, but you still get up and grind. Let me tell you, in my worst days, when I was sleeping in my car, when I didn't know how I was gonna eat, the only reason I didn't give up was because I believed God didn't bring me this far just to leave me stuck in the parking lot. Persistence without faith will make you tired. Faith without persistence will leave you wishing. But when you mix them together, man, that's a storm nobody can stop. That's when doors open that ain't even supposed to exist. That's when people start asking how you got in the room. And I know it's hard. I know some mornings you wake up and the dream feels too far away, too expensive, too complicated. But here's the truth. The moment you stop pushing is the moment you guarantee you'll never get there. Keep praying like it all depends on God, but work like it all depends on you. Don't let temporary setbacks convince you the destination ain't worth it. God ain't late. He's preparing you, stretching you, teaching you so that when the table is ready, you'll know how to run it. So when you hit that wall, and you will, push again. And when the push don't work, pray again. And when the prayer feels quiet, trust again. Because persistence will keep you moving and faith will make sure you're moving in the right direction. Together, they'll take you further than talent, connections, or luck ever could. Owning your success means stop letting other people write your story for you. Too many folks sit back and let applause, titles, or handshakes decide their value. That's dangerous. When you build something and then give the credit away, you lose control of the whole thing. Who sits at your table, what gets served, and how long the lights stay on. You gotta be willing to plant the flag and say, this is mine, not in some arrogant way, but in a responsible way. I did the work, I took the risk, I bear the consequences, and I'll enjoy the blessing. Ownership shows up in small decisions every day. It shows up when you answer for your mistakes instead of pointing fingers. It shows up when you pay attention to the numbers, to the details, to who's on your team. Because running something that lasts is more than a one-time speech or a viral video. It's payroll, it's quality, it's discipline, it's being honest about what's working and what ain't. You don't get to claim leadership if you don't handle the things leaders handle. Another part of owning your success is protecting your peace. When you create a table, you get to decide who sits there. Don't feel obligated to invite people who cut your roots, or people who act like they're for you, but they're really just for themselves. Choose your circle with intention. Invite those who add value, who do the work, who bring dignity and loyalty. And when you see folks who only want a place to eat and never lift a finger to set the table, you show them the door. That ain't being mean. That's stewardship. Ownership also requires humility. I ain't talking about hiding your name. I mean recognizing you needed help along the way and paying that forward. Give credit where it's due, mentor the next person, and build a legacy bigger than yourself. Real owners lift people up so the table grows and the feast gets bigger. Don't confuse humility with self-erasure. Stand tall and be grateful. Financially, owning your success means you manage the money like it matters, because it does. Too many people treat success like a lottery check, spend it, show it off, then complain when it's gone. Best in what sustains growth. Education, systems, and people. Plan for rainy days and celebrate responsibly on sunny ones. Spiritually, owning success means remembering who you are and why you started. Let your faith be the compass, not the excuse. Be accountable to something greater than applause. The world will try to convince you that success is a finish line. Don't buy it. Success is stewardship. You're given influence, resources, and a platform. What you do with it defines your life. So stand up, take responsibility, make the rules in your house, and run it with integrity. When you own your success, you don't just survive. You lead, you build, and you leave something that lasts. And when folks ask, how'd you do it? You don't say luck. You say you showed up, you worked, you protected what you built, and you invited the right people to the table. Look, stop begging for a seat and stop waiting on permission. Build your own table, lay the boards with persistence, and run it with faith and integrity. When you do the work, protect your peace, and own your success, you don't just get a chair. You create a place where others can come up, learn, and prosper with you. So get up, get to work, keep believing, and when that table is set, invite the right people and don't apologize for demanding what you built.